Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the European Session Brief. We're on Monday the 24th of April 2023. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We're on 15 minutes until the European Open. Let's take a look at markets, some of the headlines from the weekend. One of them is geopolitical tensions. French President Emmanuel Macron's diplomatic efforts to enlist China's help to intervene in Russia's war in Ukraine has suffered another blow. The Chinese ambassador to France told the French network that LCI, one of the TV channels, that the ex-Soviet states don't have sovereign status as independent nations, a statement that ignores the internationally recognized borders in Eastern and Central Europe. The comments triggered furious reactions, particularly in the former Soviet bloc countries Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, which announced plans to summon Chinese diplomats in their capitals. The Biden administration had already expressed irritation with Macron on his outreach to China, so a few things boiling over in that sense. Britain's property owners are turning more cautious and about asking for higher prices. Average asking prices rose 1.7% from a year ago in April, slowest pace basically since December of 2019, before the pandemic and government tax breaks triggered a frenzy of buying. The debt ceiling in US is making headlines again. Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the House will pass a $1.5 trillion debt ceiling increase plan this week, but he dodged when asked if he had already secured the 218 Republican votes he needs. Back in the UK, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will hold talks with major UK firms and investors today as governments seek to fill the void created by the implosion of Britain's main business lobby. Sunak has invited about 200 of the UK's highest profile CEOs and C-suite business leaders to an event in London for direct and detailed discussions across key industries. European shares are set for a move slightly lower as we've got a flurry of economic data this week that are going to shed further light on the path for interest rates. We've got several ECB officials speaking today. We've got Germany's IFO survey results. We've got Credit Suisse on the deck for earnings. That should be an interesting one. Cable this morning is 12422, pretty much where we were at on Friday's daily open. So there's not much change from where I was speaking on Friday morning. We've got the FTSE, which last week was absolutely flat as a pancake. In fact, the euro was relatively stable as well. To be honest, in fact, all markets didn't really move much. The most movement we got was in the world of crypto, with BTC and Ethereum fading the previous breakouts, and gold also coming off 1.1%, I think, for the week. The DAX found some support at 15,735. You can see that bounce there on Thursday, Friday, and you got an outside bar printed as well. I've got candles here, but you got the high and the low basically higher than the previous high and below the previous low. So where do we go from here? Well, that support level looks absolutely critical to me moving forward. That 15,730 area you can see was resistance this year. Now it's becoming support. Can they be able to hold at that level? You've got the high low here on the daily, so that's one of the major swing lows. And then have we got a second one printed here, and now rebuilding momentum to get a breakthrough to the 16,000 handle. The FTSE, like I said, completely flat. Cable, not too much more to add there. You can see last week we didn't really move anywhere despite every day being green. We just edged up very slightly. So if there's anything further to comment, then I'll post it inside the chat room, but there's not much else to add really from mine. The one market that I just highlight that that we need to be keeping a close eye on this week is gold, because really the failure to break and get into that all-time high region of 2075, which we've discussed inside the chat room on these briefs, and it's pretty obvious that we were heading there. It's just a sign that in the short term at least we might have got that near-term top. I mean, it's obvious now we're down 70 points. $70 from that most recent high. So yeah, of course we've got the short term, but is this a bigger turning point? As in, is this the start of a larger downtrend? Key levels to be looking for me from here is going to be the high that we printed there. You can see some support around 1950. Can we get a hold in there? I've got all these trend lines on here now, but a lot of them have been and gone. So I'm going to clean up my charts a little bit while I'm with you. And we can probably start looking at the lows from the year here. Was it this year or no? End of last year. So they were the end of last year lows. and you can see maybe we'll just start to consider this as a trend line now, and overall in terms of a larger channel. You can see here, I'm not drawing it perfectly, so do forgive me for that, but you can see what I'm saying. I could probably just put that a little bit neater, but essentially we do have this channel, but we haven't been able to get through to the top of this channel essentially on gold. And after a bit of selling that we saw last week, maybe some signs that all is not well among gold bears, among gold bulls, and a move down into 1950 at least is going to be quite an intense battle when we do get there, I think, from here. So yeah, not too much more else to add from my end. I'm going to post a chart inside the commodities chat now, which is just something that I saw on Bloomberg this morning, and it's just saying that gold basically is at a premium. This is based on some mathematical models on US real rates and the dollar. And generally they do a good job at predicting the price level of gold, and you can see how closely the predicted price and actual price track one another in the chart below. However, the chart also shows that for brief periods there can be a large dislocation between the model and actual price, and right now gold is at quite a substantial premium, so that would be suggesting that this spread on this chart would need to narrow to regain that correlation, and there's going to be one possible way of doing that, which is the price of gold falling again. So again, that's just to throw something else into the mixer. But that's it from my end today. Just wanted to add a little bit on gold, and I'll see you all inside the chat room. Thanks for listening, and all the best for your trading.